Hi everyone, and welcome to part 3 of our Mr. Incredible modeling video. So we left off by sketching out the overall shapes for the head. Now obviously this is far from being finished, but it gives us a pretty good start from where we can continue developing the rest of the character. And now we're gonna focus a little bit more on the body, because clearly the body hasn't I haven't done yet on the body, as you can clearly see. It looks a bit ridiculous right now, but don't worry, it's gonna look fine at the end. So for the body, let's go back to our reference folder here. Let me hide this, and let's see what we have. So this was our initial image, and it's pretty good, but unfortunately for us it has a pose and it's not from the front, but that's fine. We can still use this for the overall volumes and proportions. So if we go back to ZBrush, let's see what we can do with that image. So again, let's activate our see-through, and let's place our character in a way that the size of the head could be considered like a good match. Obviously this character in this image is posed, so we kind of have to guess excuse me, I'm gonna have to guess what this proportion is gonna be, but it's fine. So as we can see with this, if we put the head about here, the head look fairly roughly the same size, and we can immediately see that the legs that we did previously are very small, very short, but don't worry, we will fix that. Now let's start by defining, actually, you know what, let's do that. So to do that, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna select this area, and I have a couple of ways of selecting the legs. So if you watch the video from the beginning, you might remember that when we generate the mesh from our Z-spheres, ZBrush also created this polygroup. As you can see, the legs, they have different colors. Every part has different colors, so we can actually use this to select easily our limbs. So if I press Ctrl Shift and then I click, as you can see, this ZBrush will display only the part with this polygroup, which is this green here. If I show all the mesh by clicking again with Ctrl Shift and clicking outside, it will bring back everything else. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna click this to isolate. Now if I click again on this polygroup, it will invert the visibility. So if I do that again, it will display everything else. And now we're gonna click again, Control Shift and click on all these other polygroups. It might be difficult to see, but these are two separate polygroups. So we're gonna click, Control Shift click here, 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 and here. And now if I Control Shift and do a selection like this, it will again invert the selection. So everything that was hidden now is visible. And now with this selected, I can just hit Control and do a mask like this. And when I bring back my model, my legs will be masked. Now this is a bit harsh kind of mask, so what I can do, I can click Shift, and if I tap over my model, sorry, it was Control. So what I can do, I can hit Control and tap on my model, and this will smooth the mask like this. As I can continue tapping, it will smooth the mask. While holding Control, if I click outside of the model, it will invert the mask, and then again Control tap will smooth this side as well. I keep tapping, and now I have a very smooth mask going on. So now with the body masked and the legs unmasked, what I can do, I can just use transpose here, and I click scale. I'm gonna click and drag a transpose line like this. And now with this, if I click in this red circle here, I can scale my legs. However, that's not really what I want. So instead of using scale, because basically what scale does, it scales uniformly this selection. But what I want to do, I want to stretch my legs. So instead of using scale, I'm going to click on move and do the same. I'm just going to click in the red circle and stretch the legs. As you can see, I can stretch them, move them around like this. I'm just going to undo 1 second and bring back my reference image here. Maybe go out of perspective mode, and let's see, roughly let's align like this. And now if I can, and now I can stretch it a little bit like so. Considering that this is perspective, let's just stretch the heels to make them roughly, if I see the heel of the foot, to make it roughly the same size, the same length as this one. Okay. Alright, so let's go back to draw, and now I can regenerate my Dynamesh by clicking Control and do a selection outside my model. This will regenerate my Dynamesh, like in previous video I showed already. And so now I can start shaping this guy to make it look like more Mr. Incredible. As you can see clearly, the legs and the arms are needs to be much more developed. And also you can see that the crotch area here, it's kind of too high. So what I can do, I just want to grab my move brush with a big influence